We are live. What is up, ATG fam? Sitting across from me, I got Leroy Sandoval from the Slums of Harvard.
What's up?
Let's go, baby.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
I like your ATG glasses, the choice.
Yes, sir. They fit over my real glasses. In case you didn't know,
You look like you just got eye surgery.
do I? I just got my shit dilated.
Yeah. Hey, cheers to that, man.
Cheers, brother.
Happy Friday.
Happy fucking Friday.
It's, what time is it? It's like 5 p.m. right now. You came straight out of work.
Yep, just got off. Yes.
So I kind of wanted to just start off by telling the audience about how we met.
Mm-hmm.
So we met, like, I want to say it was like over a year ago. It had to have been over a year ago.
Yeah.
And it was backstage at Revel.
Yeah.
Or the green room at Revel, and it was for the Mango Cake show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think that's because I remember being like sitting in the green room with Tina and a couple other people, and then you came in with like Kevin and some dudes from the Rhythms.
Yeah. So that's exactly how it happened. I did a podcast with Kevin that night, and then we were both like just like down to go still stay out, and we're like, let's go watch the Mango Cakes.
Fuck yeah.
And then we went to support you guys, and then that's how I met you, and then
Hell yeah.
started following the Slums of Harvard.
Nice. Yeah, that was a fun show. That stage at Revel, like the big one, is fucking huge.
It is, dude.
It's so big.
It's
it's so tall too. I remember the first show they ever did on that stage when they first finished it. It was the Rhythms, and I got on stage with them and did a little bit. And I remember walking up those steps and then getting to the edge, because usually I'll like, when I'm performing anytime, I'll like get right on the edge of the stage.
Yeah.
And just kind of be like as close to the crowd as I can. And yeah, I was like up there and I was like getting a little woozy. I was like, this is way fucking higher than I'm used to. Usually it's like maybe like 2.5 feet that we're up.
Start getting all clammy.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That's the last thing you want to be known for, bro, is that dude that just trips off stage.
Exactly.
Stage.
Dude, I just saw a compilation of that the other day of
like artists doing
apparently it's been happening a lot. Like Travis Scott.
Kid Cudi, he had to cancel his whole tour.
Yep. And then fucking
Travis Scott too?
Yeah, dude, the one of Travis Scott is so funny because he has so much auto-tune. So like he like is yelling a line and then he's like falling and you could hear the echo of like him going like, and he just fucking
it sounds like it's part of the song, but it's him just eating it.
Yep.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That would be my worst nightmare. I feel like it's almost happened a couple of times, but I've been able to catch it.
Yeah, but that whole Revel, the whole new venue they have, or it's fairly new.
Yeah.
It's been so cool for the scene, bro.
Yeah, it's been sick. We haven't gotten a chance to play on the big stage yet. We actually played in that room before they had the venue done. Like when they first opened,
yeah,
it was just a big concrete like room. And then when you walked in the door, it was just a giant black curtain all the way across.
Oh,
because they were still doing construction.
I do remember that.
Yeah, but one year it was us and the Rhythms and a couple other bands. And we played like a Halloween show there in front of that black curtain. They just set up a pop-up stage and had some sound, and it was awful.
Dang. Oh, it didn't sound that great.
No, dude.
It didn't have the full setup.
Yeah, it was just a concrete.
And then it would just echo.
Yeah,
like
it was just a concrete box, bro. It was rough.
That's at least you can say you're part of history. One of the first bands to do it. You know.
That's true.
Yeah, I've been to like I think I've only been to that Mango Cakes concert, and then I went to like not Iration. It was Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to like a techno show there.
Nice.
And they were all different vibes. Like it seems like they could do different things. Like when I went to the EDM show, they had like him in the center, and then everyone was kind of around him.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was like a circle concert.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
That's sick.
So they're like, seems like their capabilities are pretty dope compared to like the El Rey.
Yeah.
Or Sunshine.
Yeah, I've only been to like a real show there once. Went and saw Young the Giant, like we were talking about earlier, and then I've been a couple of times because our friend James is a MMA fighter. Yeah. And so he's had fights there at Revel that we've gone
sick,
to see.
Dude. What was that vibe like?
It's pretty fucking nuts. I'm not a big fight fan, and I've never really seen one live before, so that was pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like, do they have like them on a higher stage and then you guys are just sitting like an audience, like facing them like a movie theater? No, or is it like all around?
It's all around.
Yeah,
kind of like a UFC, like a regular UFC, how it's in the center and everybody's around it.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, and then people were hyped for sure.
Damn, I've only been to one UFC live, and it was the one time they ever came to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
It was like a Diego Sanchez fight or something, and
Nice.
me and my dad are like, let's go. We found tickets for like $20. We're all happy.
Yeah.
And it was at where do they have the state fair at? What's that?
Tingley.
Tingley. It was at
Yeah.
Tingley Coliseum.
Nice.
And like right where our seats were, there's just a big old giant pole, dude, like blocking our.
Oh yeah, they do have those.
Yeah.
That shit sucks.
So we were like, dude, we're so close. We got $20 tickets, and we were just like, dude, what? But luckily, we kind of moved around. But
yeah.
yeah, that was my only UFC. Maybe one day I go to the Vegas for the fights, like, but I won't go to the UFC.
Oh, okay.
Like, just to go, I don't know, bet or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, concerts are it's like probably two different types of atmospheres. Like, seems like people are more like wanting to fight and stuff at UFC events, and then
Yeah, for sure.
you know, concerts, everyone's kind of more just like jamming out.
Yeah, yeah. It's always been. We've always had a pretty good luck with that.
Have you guys ever tried crowd surf or anything like that, or you guys stay away from that?
No, I feel like we haven't had a packed enough show yet. We've had some big ones, but nothing like to where it's to crowd surfing is viable.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had, like, we played at Meow Wolf for a Battle of the Bands thing, like, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And our homie James, the fighter, fucking huge dude. Our other singer, Nevin, like, in the middle of a song, got on his shoulders and was, like, singing on his shoulders, like, in the crowd. So that's probably the closest we've gotten so far.
That's pretty gangster.
Yeah.
That's actually the way to do it. Like, have some dude who, you know, he's got you.
Yeah. Do like, maybe even do like a trust fall thing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because people, they're brutal with the
Yeah.
stage dives.
For sure.
And then even the people that are getting stage dove onto, like,
not everybody's asking for that. Yeah.
dude, crazy backstory. We're going to derail like several times on the pod, but I was at a Steve Aoki concert in like 2011 or 2012 here in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
And I was like shaking my boy's hand. You know, we're like totally sidetracked from the concert and all of a sudden, dude, I just catch a blow to the face, like knockout blow. And the crowd kind of caught me, and I was like, what? Like, I thought someone blindsided me.
Yeah.
And dude, it was Steve Aoki, dude. He like karate kicked into the crowd, and his foot just beelined right towards my head, dude.
Oh my God.
So I was like the most pissed off ever. And then once I realized who it was, I was like, yeah.
I just got fucking kicked by Steve Aoki. That's sick.
So that was like my only, you know, crowd surfing experience.
Nice.
Like, where it was memorable. But like moshing and stuff like that, I don't know. I've never been a big mosher. What about you?
No, never really gotten into that. Every time it's happened at our shows, I've always been like, be careful. Like, don't hurt anybody.
Peace and love.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like we have a lot of like girls at our show too, so I'm
Yeah.
always like, if dudes are doing that, I'm like,
Yeah.
don't hurt the girls. Like,
Yeah, you're like, we want to keep them coming back to our shows.
Yeah,
We don't want just a bunch of fighting bros.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like an all girl mosh pit would be fun to see though. I
That
feel
would
like it'd
be pretty epic.
super polite.
It'd probably be more violent in
You think
different
so?
ways. Like
Yeah.
more scratches, more clothes missing.
Yeah,
When girls fight, they just go straight for the,
that's true.
just try and declothe each other.
Yeah, for sure.
But so you're in the band Slums of Harvard. You know, you're one of the lead singers.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together? Because I've been following you guys for about like maybe a year or so, I want to say. But
Yeah.
like, explain to me like the assembly of the Avengers. Like, did you guys slowly start bringing people
yeah,
like throughout the years?
kind of, yeah. It was so Slums started in like 2018, so we're going on like 7-8 years now.
Dope.
And from what I've heard, I actually wasn't in the original band. I came in, I was like the first edition.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was our guitar player, our original bass player, original drummer, and Nevin. They all kind of started jamming together after a couple of them got back from Australia. They went for like a student exchange, and then
Sick.
I guess started picking up guitar out there when they were out there just for fun. And they came back and started jamming, and then they were doing some random open mics kind of in the Nob Hill area. They used to play at it used to be called Winning Coffee.
Winning Coffee.
It was like a kind of just like a super hipster coffee shop right
Yeah.
across from Witch and
Okay.
on Harvard Street.
Yeah.
Because then that's where the Slums of Harvard comes in, because they used to have a house right there on Harvard Street, down the street from like Chiba Hut and
That's
shit.
sick.
And that's kind of where we were always going to just like jam and get fucked up and throw
dope,
parties and
dude.
stuff.
That's a fun little spot.
Yeah, it was dope. And then yeah, I kind of came in randomly because we were going to New Mexico State for the UNM NMSU tailgate in like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with the bass player and singer, my roommate and best friend Nevin. He was asleep in the back, and me and the bass player were in the front seat.
Yeah.
And then Mac Miller started coming on, and it was "What's the Use" by Mac Miller, off of the Swimming album. And then I started I just started rapping, and the homie Zach was like, "You know how to rap this whole song?" I was like, "Yeah, I know how to rap like every song." And then he's like, "That's cool. I just learned how to play it on bass. You should come over and we'll record it sometime." And I was like, "For sure." So I went over. Yeah, I went over. We just kind of messed around. He had like a shitty home studio in his bedroom, and kind of just made like a little demo just for fun.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "You should come jam with us whenever we have our next like jam session." And so I went to the next one. It was at the Harvard House. They just set up everything in the front yard, just playing out to the street, just in the middle of like a Sunday afternoon,
like for your jam sesh, so people walking by can hear it. Or
not even. I think it was just so they could jam together,
just
like
so they can all be together, like in a space.
Yeah,
like
so,
the front yard.
Yeah, and so it was in the front yard, and I showed up, and they started playing random shit, and I just started rapping like random lyrics, and
that's dope.
And then they were like, "We have a show coming up. You want to do it with us?" And so that's kind of how I got started with the Slums.
Sick, dude.
Yeah, and then
shout out to Mac.
Yeah, for sure. That I always give him love. He's like the one song is the reason why I've kind of gotten Slums.
That's crazy.
Which is cool.
That's a cool thing too. That's such a cool story. Like I was gonna ask you, how you got that name, because I'm always curious. Some people put ton of meaning behind their name, and then some bands are just like see something on the wall and they're like, that's our name, or it's just everyone's different,
Yeah, so yeah, it's cool. It was a real place. So yeah.
That's dope, dude.
And so
that's cool you guys do the Mac Miller songs too and stuff. I feel like that Swimming album has a lot of live instruments.
Yeah, so that
it's different than other rap albums.
For sure. Yeah, that's kind of why I started it too. I'm the only one from Slums that is part of that. It's usually like me and a couple of the people from Mango Cakes and other bands.
Oh, sick.
I kind of put that together. You know how they do the Night of the Living cover bands?
Yeah.
At Launchpad every year?
Yeah.
For some reason, Slums never wants to do it. We've just never really done it before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, I've always wanted to do it because I went the year before and I was like, this is crazy. People like show up for this thing, and it's packed, and it's vibes for sure. And so I was like, well, shit, I'll just put my own band together for Mac Miller. And so I got Tina from Mango Cakes, Jabez from Mango Cakes, Enrique on the keys. He played for Mangoes and Just Velvet and a bunch of other people.
That's dope.
And then our homie Ezra playing guitar, and just kind of added a couple other people in randomly.
That's sick.
And then we did the cover bands show, and it was kind of disappointing.
Why?
Because we had to go last for the whole night. There's like 11 bands every night.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had to go last, and we didn't start till like 12:30.
So everyone's already hammered.
Yeah.
Or out walking out.
Exactly. Yeah. And also the band, I feel like the two bands before us were kind of rocky and like didn't really get the crowd too hype.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they kind of pushed a handful of people out. So it was still a good crowd, but not like as packed.
Like as what you expected for the first time doing it.
Yeah, for sure. And then so I was like, well, that was disappointing. So let's just book Launchpad and do our own show.
Yeah.
And so I booked it, and then got a couple other people to open for us, and then actually had like a real show.
That's sick, dude.
And then just did the same thing over at Marble a couple weeks ago.
I saw that. I mean, I saw that you guys did that. I wish I would have went.
Yeah.
Because I have Mac all over my wall inside the studio.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
He's like sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I feel like most of the shit on the wall is stuff that I really listen to a lot too.
Yeah, I don't know, like in high school, I mean, Mac was like maybe a year older than me. So like I felt like he was one of the homies that made it. Like we were like coming up together,
Yeah.
Because we found him on YouTube. He didn't really have any exposure other than YouTube. He was like one of the first artists to blow up on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Like him and Kid Cudi and certain artists.
Yep.
But like you know, so watching his whole career play out, I feel like that's almost where I was in my life too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some of his crazier albums, that was when I was like the craziest in my life. And then
kind of
when
lost.
Swimming came out, I was like starting to find myself. Like,
Yeah.
it was just crazy. Like he was going through the same stuff as kids his age, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. I actually I wasn't really listening to Mac in high school, which is surprising that he became such a big influence. I didn't really like grow up listening to. I didn't really discover it till I graduated and like when I was in college.
That's an even better thing though too, because you just discover him and you have all this whole swimming pool of songs to listen to.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he just made songs like all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Him, Cuddy, like in high school for me, it was like Cuddy, Kanye, B.O.B. was really big back then.
Oh yeah.
Lupe Fiasco. Those kind of guys.
Yeah, I remember Lupe.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Lupe lately just because Sean O'Malley's fighting.
Oh, really?
So that's his walkout song.
Oh, hell yeah.
That Superstar song.
Yeah, so that was the Lupe's like Kick Push song, the skateboarding one.
Yeah.
That was like his first big song. That was the first really like rap song that I ever heard in my whole life.
What kind of music were you like listening to like growing up like in high school and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it was a lot of that, a lot of like I feel like a lot of the rappers of the time is what I was listening to because my family like lineage is kind of weird. I'm like the youngest of all the first cousins I'm like the way youngest.
Okay.
So the cousin closest to me is like 8 or 9 years older, and then everybody's like, 10 plus years older than me.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get to grow up with them, and I didn't really grow up with like big siblings really. And so I kind of just had to get my own music taste, like just going to school and like hanging out with people and figuring out what they were listening to. So it was a lot of the time, the 2010s. So yeah, a lot of Cuddy, a lot of Kanye.
That was a golden era of music.
It was. It's amazing.
I don't know if it's just me. Every person says their time was like the time, but
yeah, and it was
that was when Wayne was making like Carter 3. That was like
yep. And then Chitty Bang. I don't know if you know Chitty Bang.
Chitty Bang. I don't think I've heard of
They were
Chitty
a very,
Bang.
very, very like 2010 rap duo. It was
two guys.
One was
two?
Yeah, it's like two guys, but one's the rapper, one's the producer, but they're
Okay.
both like the group.
After this, play a song for me.
Yeah,
Because I want to rediscover old music that I forgot about. Like,
Yeah,
there's so much songs.
You'll probably know their big song. It's called "Opposite of Adults." It's like MGMT.
Yeah.
You know that kids song, "Kids."
Yes.
Yeah, they sample that for "Opposite of Adults." It's like, hey yo, I once was a kid, all I had was a dream. Yeah, that one.
Yes. Okay.
So I got really into them.
I forgot about that song too. Right?
Yeah. So
I want to make sure we're good at.
Yeah. So they that was like the first real CD that I bought back in the Hastings days.
The Chitty Bang?
Yeah, their first like real album that dropped was called Breakfast.
That's what's up.
But yeah, very, very of the times. It was very indie rap. I like to think of it as. I feel like that's
like
kind of
real instruments, but also dudes rapping over it.
No, it was a lot of.
I'm trying to think of.
It was a lot of sampling indie songs
and then they just
rapping over it. And then I know Cuddy did that. Wiz did that.
Yeah.
A lot of people were doing that
like
at that time.
Rat-a-tat and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen to even like Man on the Moon too, like
that's a Hastings buy right there.
Hell yeah.
That's like 2010 or 29.
Yeah. So
or 2000.
There's a couple of these like Mojo's So Dope. If you find there's like an actual song like that the instrumental comes from.
That's so cool that you pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things I love to like tell people as they're hearing rap songs.
Oh yeah, it's the best.
Well, all of the early 2000 rap songs, they're all sampled soul songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like every single one that's dope. Like the Ice Cube, Today Was a Good Day. Like all those songs.
Yes.
And it's so if that soul music wasn't there, like those songs probably wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah, definitely.
They had dope beats.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up listening to a lot of so like I said, didn't really have like older cousins or older siblings, so I had my homies and the internet and then my parents. And my parents are a lot older than most like people my age.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have me until my dad was 40, my mom was 35.
Okay.
Which is like pretty old to have kids. And so they grew up like in the 70s and stuff. So I was listening to a lot of disco, a lot of funk. A lot of that kind of music. I never really got into the 80s that much.
That's probably
Never really got into the 90s that much, except for like whatever was like kind of was on the radio.
yeah.
And then like 2000s, 2010s is really where I started to
get your own taste.
Yeah. And my mom, even though she's older, she kind of got into a little bit of the like hip hop and R&B stuff. Like she was a big Ashanti fan back in the day. So I knew all the Ashanti like Ja Rule hits.
Just like the random artists.
Yeah.
Of that time.
Yup, Nelly, like that.
Ja Rule.
Yeah, the GOAT, bro. Dude, those songs are so good.
Dude, I was just have you seen that this is way off subject, but that Fire Festival documentary?
Mm-hmm.
How Ja Rule's like the main dude pushing it?
Yeah.
He's like they used him to draw the masses.
Yep, for sure.
And then he just jumped ship.
Dude, yeah, that shit was insane. They so that main dude, I forget his name, but he just got out of prison.
Billy something.
Yeah, Billy something.
Yeah.
He just got out of prison and
would be a Billy, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. He just got out of prison, and this year he was trying to do Firefest 2, and like his whole thing was like, we're not fucking it up this time. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna get the permits. We're gonna do this legit. And he kept like the whole campaign he's been doing is like, this is legit.
Yeah.
All the information.
We're gonna make it right.
Yeah, we're gonna make it right. And then they had like set a date in Mexico or something, and the Mexican government was like, we have no record of him booking anything.
So he's just trying to
just
do
bullshit.
the same thing.
Yeah,
get
literally
the
doing the exact same thing again. And then he comes out with a statement that's like, oh, the date has been pushed back, so stay tuned for more. And I'm just like, bro, how could you do it again?
If he does it again, I don't want to hear no one complain.
Yeah.
Like, you saw the documentary, and if you bought the ticket,
yeah,
fool me twice, you know?
Yeah. What I really liked about that doc is like, because I'm like a marketing person.
Yeah.
So I like went to school for marketing and graphic design and stuff. That's and so that was kind of coming out when I was in college, like really into my like marketing classes and stuff. And so we looked at it a little bit, and it was just like fascinating, like how like incredible like their marketing campaigns were.
Yeah.
And how like they were able to like truly fool people into thinking this was going to be the greatest thing of all time. Because if you look at like their old Instagram page, it was like, I feel like one of the first instances of like the grid where it lines up and it looks beautiful when you're looking at their grid. And I started doing that for Slums.
That's
like,
smart.
I've been doing that like since day one, like lining up the grid and everything like that.
That's cool.
And so is amazing what they did, and then they just fucked everybody. And it's like one of the greatest.
They were one of the first two to like get celebrities to change their profile to like all orange.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not explain, and then everyone's like, "What is this?"
Exactly.
You
and
know?
that was fucking genius.
Make it exclusive.
Yeah.
Like Kendall Kardashian changed her Why did she do this?
Yep, exactly. People were fucking on board.
He should just stop trying to throw his own festivals and just work as like a marketing dude.
Exactly. Like, you would think, but
he
honestly, that most of that wasn't him. It was like actual marketing professionals.
He was the one that was just getting the rich guys to fund it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Sorry, bro.
Ja Rule.
Yeah, start talking.
Yeah.
Well, just like you were talking about, your parents' music taste, how, they grew up so much older than you, so you had a lot of like older taste like growing up.
Yeah.
And then, there's like a gap between like the 90s and, 80s and 90s that you kind of, I don't think you missed out on too much.
Yeah, honestly, like
the 80s. I listen to 80s, some 80s pop and stuff. And
yeah,
I'm like,
not my favorite. Even
just like too much. I don't know.
Yeah, it's super white. Like it's not like the funk era and like the disco era was like is undeniable. Like how much you wanted to dance to that music because it was just so fucking catchy and like rhythmic.
Yeah, well, it was like so like anyone could dance to it even if you don't like have rhythm.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't know. I was watching Scarface the other day, and like you know how they have the nightclub scenes.
Yeah,
it's like the toughest movie, Scarface. He's like, and then they're just like singing like some like pop music.
Yeah,
like, Scarface is just dancing to some pop.
Yeah, that's the shit. But yeah, I love like all the disco shit, like Marvin Gaye and Luther Vandross and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, dude, Marvin Gaye was good.
Cool in the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire.
Cool in the Gang, disco songs, just like, dude, that's why they play them at weddings.
Yeah,
they get everyone going.
They still hit.
And that's why, like, forget me not.
Yep, slap.
Song's a banger, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what's cool. Like, that's kind of how I became like a fan and kind of started working with the Mango Cakes is they do a lot of that music, and like that's mostly my favorite music, is just stuff you can dance to. So I went to a couple of their shows. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. They're like people my age that are doing songs that my parents listen to, but it's fucking awesome because they're doing it all live. They got a horn section. Yeah. They got like everybody's dancing. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's like a Bruno Mars type
exactly.
vibe. Like it gets just good music.
Exactly. And they do a lot of Bruno Mars too. Also like the greatest performer of all time.
Yeah.
And writes the biggest smashes ever.
That's cool, man.
And so, just kind of started hanging out with them. And then they kind of started bringing me on stage too to do some stuff with them. And
that's cool, man. Those are two really big bands. You know, that's cool that they brought you in.
Yeah, it's been fun too, because we've done the past couple years. We didn't do it this summer because Tina just moved to Nashville. So
yeah, shout out Tina.
Shouts out.
She was on the pod. I forget what episode, but she's an OG drummer.
But we called it the Slummy Cake Summer Bash. We did it 3 times, like the last 3 summers. And so it was fun because a lot of the people that go to their shows go to ours. And so we kind of all made like one mass show. Yeah. And we would switch off headlining every year. And it was cool because like what Slums does is so different than what Mango Cakes does. But like it kind of meets in the middle to where like it's still pop. Yeah. So like anybody there can, like we do like pop. Punk.
It's not like so niche.
Yeah, we do. We do like pop punk, like alternative pop, kind of rock stuff, and they do like the funk pop, like just strictly pop dance stuff. And so it was fun to have both.
Where did you guys have that one at, or usually do that one?
So we did it once at Inside Out. We did it once at Sister, and I feel like we might have done it somewhere else, maybe Launchpad or something like that.
Have you played pretty much like at all the venues in Albuquerque?
Yeah, pretty much
at this point.
Every single one. The only thing we haven't hit, we played on the stage at El Rey. Yeah. But it was for like an event. It wasn't for like a show. Oh, so it was kind of whack, honestly.
Like it was something else, but they let you guys do your thing?
Yeah, they were having like a convention in there, but we were playing on the stage, which we did not need to be there. It was pointless.
Was it like people having dinner, like a convention? Like
no, it was like a weed convention.
Oh,
I don't remember what it's.
So like people are like walking around
to
like
different booths, and
so
stuff.
You're playing and everyone's like having sidebar conversations. And stuff?
It was rough, and so we haven't.
That's one you got to crowd surf on. Just find someone that's not paying attention.
Just fucking jump into like a canopy.
Jack Blackett.
Yeah. So we played that. We haven't played a real show there. But we finally, we've been trying for so many years to get into Sunshine, and we finally did this year back in February. Cool. And it was fucking magical.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we got to open for Bad Sons.
Oh, no way.
Is, one of my favorite bands too.
Dang. So you got to meet them and stuff?
No, not really, honestly.
Are they like separate? They're one of those bands kind of like...
Yeah, so they
just show up when they play and then they bounce?
No, I think they were in the green room. The green room's underneath the stage. Oh. So it's downstairs. But in our contract, it said no access to the green room. So we couldn't really go in there and talk to them.
So that was part of the deal?
Yeah, they were basically like, get your stuff on, play your show, and then get it off and get out of the way, pretty much. Dang. So Bad Sons can play. Dang. So that was unfortunate, but still like,
it was got to share stage.
It was a sold out show, and it like pretty much fully packed when we were playing.
That's sick. I bet you that makes such a difference too, just having an audience that's just ready to roll.
Yeah, like
you just feed off each other.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's really hard. It's really hard to feed off of nothing. So like,
you have to. There's an energy that exists in a room, when you're performing, and it's like a two-way street sometimes,
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like I do super well when there's like a big crowd or people are ready to party.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I feel like it's tough to just pull it out of thin air.
Yeah,
we don't, especially with Slums, like we don't have that kind of background noise vibe.
Like chill vibes, coffee shop. Like
exactly. Like, so when we're playing.
Background, like you're not like a background band.
No, not at all.
It's like.
It's very in your face.
Yeah.
And so when you're very in your face and people are not ready for it, it can go south pretty quickly. Yeah. Like the vibes are like people. Like, I feel like can get pissed. And then you're like, why is this band fucking screaming at me? Yeah. I'm just trying to, have a beer and like talk to my friends.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. You
Yeah.
can't change for them.
For sure. So
That's something that some people do. It's like, no.
yeah.
Like, if anything, just keep doing you, and it'll draw those crazies in, you know? Because you don't want to have to, like, you know, water yourself down just to get more heads, and then you're just like kind of bored.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like I've over the years of booking stuff for us, I feel like I've gotten better of like picking and choosing. And like now we have the luxury of picking and choosing.
Nice.
Whereas like when we first started, it was like obviously say yes to everything because we just want to get shows wherever, whenever.
Yeah.
Whereas now that we've been like an established band for a long time, venues like we can kind of
Like you guys paid your dues, your name, you're a known name.
exactly, yeah. And so we can kind of and we're like know all the venue leaders, like bookers and stuff. So we can kind of actually, as opposed to them being like, I have this date to open for this band. If you want it, it's there. Whereas like now it's like, do you guys have this date for us? And then I'll
figure it out.
We'll put together the whole show and the whole lineup and the schedule and everything.
Oh, that's sick. So you get to make your whole, you know, show, like openers, all that.
Exactly.
That's cool. Because then it gives you control to choose someone that you feel has talent.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's nice to, like our last show we just played was at Inside Out, and we had our homie Sage Cornelius. He's like an electric violin player.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible.
Electric violin?
Dude, it's probably the craziest thing you've ever seen. Like I had just seen it
trying to think what that would sound like.
He had like, it sounds like
is it just a violin but like amplified like all crazy, or is it like
no, it's like, so you know,
like a metal guitar.
It's like a metal guitar almost. Like he can play like metal songs and it sounds like a guitar and shit. And he can also like have effects where it sounds like a fiddle or anything like that. So and he plays like hardcore metal shit or like pop covers, and
that's dope.
Yeah, it's
so
fucking.
He was at that show with you guys.
Yeah, he hopped on last minute. We had a band drop out, and I hit him up, so he hopped on, which was cool. Yeah. And then we had a band that I randomly found on Instagram called the Galentines.
Okay.
All the way in Boulder, Colorado. I just like found them. They're like all girl rock band.
Yeah.
And I literally was just DM'd them and was like, hey, do you guys want to come to Albuquerque and play a show with us? And they're like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Sick.
So they pulled up and they did fucking amazing. And
dude, never underestimate the power of IG DMs.
Dude, for real. It works.
Some people overcomplicate things, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, why not just message them? Like, you'll just know right off the bat.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Like, I don't know. That's what works for me.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been nice to have that luxury of being able to make our own shows now.
That's cool. And then also I got a chance to, you know, listen to Deadbeat.
Oh yeah.
So I listened to that. I was like listening to that.
To the song or the EP?
The EP.
Oh nice.
Oh yeah, there's a song Deadbeat on there too.
Yeah.
But dude, that's a good album or a good EP. Yeah. I don't know what the difference is. I guess is EP just like digital?
No, EP. I think I looked it up. I had to look this up because I didn't really know either. I guess EP is just kind of like a short album.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like anything under 30 or 40
So it's
minutes.
just the amount of tracks, really.
Yeah. I don't know what EP stands for, but it's like a short album. It's under 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and
dude.
An LP is like a full album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, I was listening to that. I'm trying to think of my favorite song. I think it was probably... I think the one I vibed to was probably Other Side.
Oh, the last one.
Yeah.
The like slower one?
Yeah.
Nice.
That one was dope.
It
was different. It was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool.
I don't know.
That was a cool.
I like all of them, but that one I was vibing to that one for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was just the time of day, bro. It was like sun was kind of chilling, like.
Yeah, that one came out. That one came out cooler than I originally thought. I wasn't like super sold on it right away, but once we got in the studio and Nevin kind of did his thing,
yeah,
he really like brought that to life.
That's what's up.
Cool. Kind of gave it more like a classic rock kind of vibe.
Heck yeah,
which I liked.
I would say like that one, and Deadbeat was good too, and then I really liked Adderall.
Yeah, that one's cool.
That one was cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. It was just it was just a fresh, good sound, bro. And
yeah,
it's kind of nostalgic too, cause like I was listening to like in middle school. 8th grade, like I loved Blink-182 and stuff like that, like more rock bands.
Yeah, for sure.
So hearing that type of music like takes me back, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just like takes me back and like just to just like better times, you know.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we try to do that at our live shows too, is play a lot of those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're constantly doing covers. Like this last show we did what's it called? Last Resort.
Okay.
By Papa Roach. which has been fun.
Dang, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah.
That's another artist.
Yep. And we did the School of Rock song, which was fun.
Oh, like the
Teacher's
song
Pet
for
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
That's one that like you could bring the casuals on that probably all watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Recognize it.
Yeah, so that one was fun. And then this was the first time we've ever done this. We played a slow cover.
Okay.
We usually with our covers we're going like hype. We're playing like, Fat Lip,
yeah,
like Sum 41 or All the Small Things. And for this one we did The Reason by Hoobastank.
Okay.
I
know Hoobastank, but I can't think of that song.
I found a reason for me.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that one was super fun. I don't know. I was just listening to it and I was like, we've never done anything like this, and I feel like the crowd would be really receptive to like a slow but like powerful banger.
Oh yeah, when they got that right buzz and they just want to
just sing.
That's a
yeah,
good one
because that's the best part about any concert, and I feel like that's what like I try to suggest, and we try to work with the band is playing. If we're gonna play a cover, you want to play a cover that 95% of the people know 100% of the words. Because I feel like a lot of people will play a cover and they'll be like, this is a cover. And then you're like, well, I don't fucking know this song.
Yeah.
More than half the people don't know this song. So you could have just said this was your original song and nobody would know.
That's a smart way to look at it.
Yeah. So it's like you want to play song. Like there's no better feeling in like top 5 feelings as a human than being in a crowd and screaming the words to your favorite song.
Yeah,
like that's pretty much the whole point to go to a show.
Yeah, it brings them back.
Yeah,
or kind of just like just to change it up.
Yeah, it's a huge like escape for people.
Yeah, and then it's a chance for you guys to play like something one of your favorite songs.
Exactly,
that you just always wanted to play with your friends.
Yeah, and then that really helps with writing too, especially with the instrumentals and stuff. Like the guys get to play stuff that's maybe a little bit more difficult and out of their comfort zone, and then once they nail it, then they level up, and now they're like they can add those skills that they used in the cover song into writing the next song. That's cool. So
it's like a growth, a way that you could grow the skills in the band too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, I would say just like if you're doing a cover song, make sure everybody in the room is gonna love it and know it.
Oh, dude, that's like so. I'm friends with a lot of guys from the Rhythms. I love that cover they do, "How to Fly," by Sticky Fingers. I don't know if that's super well known, but I just like that's.
I actually just watched the Miles episode the other day.
Oh yeah,
on you guys talking about
Against the Grain.
Yeah,
dude. I think I'm was always just the fan that I'm already such a big fan of Sticky Fingers. So like,
nice.
I'm like, dude, I get to hear it live, but I'll probably never see the Sticky Fingers.
Yeah,
so it's like perfect, like for people that know they'll probably never see Hoobastank, but they get to hear it live.
Yeah,
like a different experience.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's fun to do all those songs like All American Rejects and all that kind of stuff.
How is it like collaborating with all the band? Is it like are your practice sessions like you guys are like butting heads and then you figure it out at the end of the night, or you guys like have like a free flow state? Like I'm sure every session's different, but like I'm sure you have an idea, and then how do you get everyone on board with your idea?
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot.
That seems like the hardest part.
There's 6 of us, and so that means 6 different opinions.
Yeah.
Sometimes they line up for half the band, or maybe 2 people will agree with you.
Yeah.
And maybe nobody will agree with you. So it's hard, but it works. I feel like it's cool because for the most part, we all kind of have different music tastes.
Yeah.
Whereas like a couple of the guys really like the more like hardcore stuff. Metal and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And whereas like me, I'm more pop and hip hop and R&B kind of stuff that the rest of the band doesn't listen to. So it's kind of interesting to see like a final sound with all those different influences kind of coming in. And then we just got our new guy Greg. He's pretty much like who wrote most of the EP. Sick. Most of the Deadbeat EP.
Yo, shout out Greg.
Yeah, for sure. He came in when we needed somebody. We actually have been friends for like 5-6 years. We needed a bass player when our original guy stepped away, and we completely forgot about Greg. We didn't even he's
Oh, you forgot about Greg, dude?
yeah, we were constantly like
I forgot about-
we were at parties with him and all the time because he's like actually one of our homies.
Yeah.
And so we see him at all these parties and he's like, how's the band? And we're like, oh, we're just trying to find like a bass player, bro. Like it's hard to find somebody that like fits the vibe. And he's like, yeah, dude, that sucks. And then we were all faded one night and then Toby was like, Greg, don't you play guitar? And he's like, yeah, I do. I'm very fucking good at it. He's like, would you be down to play bass? He's like, yes, I've been waiting for you to ask me for like 6 months.
He's playing hard to get.
Yeah. He just didn't. Yeah. And so we got him on originally to play bass, and he's actually a phenomenal guitar player. So
sick.
He wrote a lot of the EP songs on guitar. And then he, it was kind of birthed from his ideas, which is cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Do you guys, are you guys going to be playing a lot this summer?
No, he's about to have a baby, actually.
Greg?
Yeah.
Yo, what the heck, bro? We just got you on.
I know, yeah. Yeah. So this was our Inside Out show was the last one for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, we should be back in a couple months. We just want to give him some time to kind of figure out what it's like to be a dad and
for sure
and see so he can figure out what his schedule is like and that kind of stuff.
Bro, what's more important, bro? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. This band that you just joined, or your
yeah, bro, we're your true
bloodline.
family. Yeah. That's cool. Sometimes it's nice to have a little break too, let everyone kind of do their own thing.
Yeah,
and then you come back more hungry.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited too. It'll give me some time to. I have a lot of ideas for songs that I know Slums will never do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like more pop, and I'm more like into indie pop and stuff like that.
Okay.
Kind of like Foster the People. Like
I love Foster.
Yeah, Young the Giant.
That's one band I want to see that I haven't seen.
Me too. I
feel like they don't tour that much.
Yeah, I really want to see them too. Them, Young the Giant. Cage is good. Two Door Cinema Club.
I haven't heard of them.
They're honestly, like I told you, I missed like the 80s and 90s growing up.
Yeah.
Also in high school, I completely missed all the indie rock and indie pop that was coming out.
Like during that time.
I don't know how I fucking missed it. So when I got to college, I discovered like indie pop from the 2010s.
Yeah.
And was like, this is the greatest music I've ever fucking heard. And then I was playing it like with all my homies. I'm like, have you heard this? They're like, dude, this came out in 2011. I heard it when it came out. And I'm like, am I the only guy that missed all of this?
Dang.
Like, yeah.
Dude, and it's even harder now because it's like quadruple the amount of songs and bands that exist.
Exactly.
Like stuff just gets lost in the ether if you're not like on that right playlist that'll recommend that song.
Yeah. And so, yeah, when I was in high school, like 2011 to 15, we didn't really have Spotify or like it was just coming out. And so yeah, I didn't, and most of my friends were listening to the same stuff I was, like Cudi, Kanye, that kind of stuff. And so when I got to college, I went really hard into the indie music.
Sick.
And yeah, I just love it. And so I really want to kind of mold those genres of like indie pop and kind of like funk or like disco and then rap.
That would be cool.
Which
that sounds like a crazy combo.
Yeah, which
works.
Yeah, which is cool. That's kind of what Chitty Bang used to do.
Yeah,
they sampled a lot of like indie pop songs, and then Chitty would like rap on it too, which was
kind of reminds you like Travis McCoy even.
Exactly. Yeah,
like
that kind of stuff. B.O.B. doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really want to kind of bring that vibe back.
That's cool. I feel like a lot of groups, or at least locally, aren't like tapping into that.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, I mean it doesn't really make that much sense. It makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
But also like Slums, what I do for Slums doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Really. Because it's like it's all like rock, like pop punk music, and I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Who's like rapping on this shit, which I don't know how I've made it work for so long, but every time I come up with a new verse, I'm like, whew, I got through that one too. Like, yeah.
That's a good way to just challenge yourself. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's cool.
Sometimes the thing you avoid the most is the thing that needs to be made.
Yeah.
You know, especially in music.
Yeah. So I'm excited to kind of work. I have a couple of homies that I've made in the music scene over the years who do like production and that kind of stuff. So
that's helpful.
Excited to try and start working on some solo stuff.
That'll be cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know. I'll go to a show. Say what's up.
Yeah, for sure. First I want to get the songs first and then put together a show, but yeah, that would be fun.
Or shoot, since you're off now we could just go to the shows,
Yeah,
be in the crowd.
that's true. Yeah, that'll be fun.
It seems like they're like, I don't know. I've been seeing like a new poster like every week. There's like, it seems like now that it's getting warmer, everything's kind of getting kicked off.
Yeah.
And we have so many venues that are working around the clock that are bringing in every type of genre.
Yeah.
Like they'll have disco EDM nights at Inside Out, or they'll have, just random types of shows.
Yeah, it's
That
been
I think's
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, and I think Revel really kind of upped that what is it, like, diversity of acts coming into town too.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time it was, the giant acts are going to a Sleda
Yeah.
because it's 10,000 plus gigantic outdoor venue, and then the step below that was Sunshine, which is like 1,000 people, which is huge.
And that's not enough. Like,
yeah,
do we need to go all the way to Albuquerque and can only fill out this many people?
exactly.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah, we can't sell 10,000, but we also can sell like triple of we can sell like 3,000. And so that's where Revel came in, which is cool, like that new venue. And so I feel like we're getting a lot of the acts that we didn't used to get.
Heck yeah. Dude, there was a golden era of El Rey where they I got to see like Kendrick Lamar there, Chance, Schoolboy Q. It was it was probably right before they like blew up like crazy.
Yep.
But they were still able to bring in those, like historical artists now.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
and
good at finding talent,
Yeah, I was unlucky because at that time, I was when I was in high school and stuff, and I grew like pretty much our whole band. We grew up on the west side. We went to Volcano.
Oh,
And
they tell you never go to the east side.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Or like
It's the dark side.
Yeah, and so I up until our first show at Launchpad,
Yeah.
I had never been to Launchpad, and it was the same for pretty much everybody that was going to see us.
That's crazy.
And so that was super interesting to find that there was a whole life of music just like on the other side of town that I never knew about. Nobody I like hung out with ever went downtown for shows or anything like that.
That's crazy.
And so it
really is its own little city out there.
Yeah, it's been cool to kind of become part of it.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite part, is just becoming part of the music scene and like making homies that I never would have made like had I not started making music.
Yeah. That's true. And it seems like the culture gets along more so now than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not on that side, but it seems like every person that I talk to who's in a band's like cool with everyone else.
Yeah, it's been nice. Everybody's pretty chill. We started right before COVID. Yeah. And we started gaining some momentum, and I feel like when we were coming up, there wasn't really that much of a scene. Like there was the Rhythms, and they had like a reggae scene. Yeah. And then I feel like there was a big metal scene. Yeah. But not really anything else. Yeah. And then after COVID, now there's like so many indie bands and country bands and like all these different genres that weren't there before. And COVID really like kind of birthed that in a weird way. Yeah. They had those 2 years to just practice with their friends. Exactly. Yeah. Nothing. Everyone's like, you want to just practice every day? Yeah. And so that's been cool it's been cool too. Cause like coming out of COVID, we had a little bit of a name. Yeah. And so we were able to kind of keep up with what was going on in the scene and kind of bring people to like bring new acts to our shows that weren't there before. That's cool. And I've seen you guys have been doing like a lot of the Fiesta shows and stuff too. Yeah, those are fun. Those look fun. Yeah, playing at the college is super sick. They still have it on Johnson Field? Yep. That's what's up. Yeah, we played it this last like couple months ago in April. It was sick. That's actually a really big show. Yeah. That's like I've seen like Hippie Sabotage at those Fiestas. Yeah, that was one that I went to too. Yeah, like we were probably in college around the same time. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know. Cause did you go to Anderson or did you go? Yeah, you did. Okay. What year did you graduate? 2017. Okay, I graduated end of 19. Okay. Yeah. So you got to experience the nice brand new Anderson building. A little bit, yeah. My last couple semesters. Dude, I got screwed. Yeah. I went to CNM and then I went to UNM, and the whole time I was at CNM under construction. Yeah. And then the whole time I was at UNM under construction. That's how I felt about Johnson. I got like 2 years of Johnson gym. Yeah. And then like my junior, senior year, they're like, yeah, we're fucking it all up. And then now it's like brand new and state of the art. It's like next level now. Huh? After I graduated is when they finished it. So it's all good, bro. Yeah. But yeah, Fiestas was cool this year. It was perfect weather, awesome lineup, super random lineup too.
Yeah.
Young Gravy, Sage the Gemini, and the
Young
dude
Gravy.
from Cherub.
Okay.
Yeah, his name's Jason Huber. We actually met. He was the one guy that we got to meet because he was right after us. So
Nice.
he was super,
Was he cool?
He was super cool. So nice. We got to take a picture with him.
Dang, that is like a random. That's like, I mean, that's like a festival lineup.
Yeah.
Like Fiesta, like.
And then it was us, and then opening the show was Sister Baby. They're like a newer kind of indie band that popped up.
Okay.
And so yeah, that was cool. We did it again last year, and it was cool because it was pretty much like an all local lineup, and then B.O.B.
Nice.
He was the headliner, so we got to go right before B.O.B. The only problem was the weather was so fucking shitty. It was literally like windy and snowing and so fucking cold, and it was just a miserable time.
Oh.
So we went like 4th or 5th last year, and had the same exact size crowd as going 2nd this year, just because of the weather.
Dang.
So yeah, it was rough, which is.
That's the thing about outside events. You just don't know what the heck.
Yeah, we've had a couple of shows rained out over the years, which is always just fucking heartbreaking. You get all these people to show up, and then it just starts fucking pouring.
You're like, just keep drinking.
Yeah, exactly. We had that at Inside Out one time. We were the headliners. There was like 4 acts on the lineup, and we were the 4th. All 3 other bands got to perform, do their set. As soon as we were like getting ready and hooking up our amps and shit, it started pouring so hard, and they canceled the show.
To set up even quicker. You're like, wait.
Yep. And then Inside Out, they wouldn't let us keep going, so they kicked everybody out.
Dude, Inside Out should like have like a, I don't know, something they could pull over the roof.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? like even
pull,
like a curtain or something.
Pull cover.
Yeah, like something similar. I know Marvel has something like that. I feel like a shaded thing, downtown Marlboro.
Yeah.
Did I say Marlboro?
No, Marlboro.
I just did the Marlboro ATG drop, so that word's just like stuck in my head.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. Outside events, they could be like the best, or like in situations like that, ruin everything.
Yeah. I was so before I came on here, like when we confirmed that we were going to do this, I went through like your episode list.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see like what people you've had on.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that like a bunch of the homies that I know.
Okay.
So like your recent episode, you had Diego on.
Diego
Weston,
yeah. Diego's a good dude.
Him and Angelica and Kosi.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I actually used to hang out with them way back in the day.
Heck yeah. So you went probably through Volcano maybe, or just know each other through.
Yeah, so they're a little older than I am. But I was dating, like in high school I was dating Diego's cousin.
Okay.
And so I kind of got to meet like Diego and Kosi and all those guys through them.
Those guys are funny, man.
Yeah.
Kosi's a trip.
Dude, he's so fucking funny.
He's crazy. He showed up to the pod wearing like a fur vest. He's like just ready, dude.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
In Kosi fashion.
Yes.
I need to have him back on. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Because some of those old, like, I'm sure you got to see the growth of just like, even just like from my first episodes, like no mics, no nothing. Like we would just do them with a phone.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
And then you don't realize how bad it sounds. And then you get mics, you're like, oh, dude, I feel sorry for,
yeah,
But, my listeners stuck with me and got to see it grow, At least I know they got my back.
That's cool.
Yeah. But
yeah,
that is crazy. It's crazy how small of a world it is. You don't even realize it. Like, just even friend groups and stuff. Like, everyone's connected to someone that someone knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, that's what I've liked about this podcast the most is like, because I'm not out in the scene as much as like I used to. Like concerts and like whatever. So to bring it into my house and like still get connected in some way is pretty dope.
Yeah. It's been, I'm honestly kind of getting the same way too. Just getting older.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a couple years ago, like when COVID first let out and we were like stuff started opening up, I was at like every show, every fucking weekend, like even on the weekdays. I also didn't have like a 9 to 5 like I do now.
Yeah. That changes it, huh?
Dude, it fucking sucks.
The next day at work,
yeah, because I'm like super close with Tina.
Yeah,
and she quit her day job like 2 years ago, and so I would go I would go to her place or just like hang out with her.
Yeah.
And then she'd be like, yo, we're going to this thing on Tuesday and we're getting all fucked up. And I'm like, Tuesday? I got to show up at work at 8 a.m. on Wednesday.
I know.
Like I used to, my old job, it was a super random schedule. So I kind of scheduled myself whenever I wanted.
Like if you had to show up late, it wasn't like a deal breaker.
Not even that. It's just like some days I would work, you know, at like 7 a.m. and then other days I wouldn't go in till like 10 or 11.
Oh, okay.
Just it was literally random every day. And so yeah, I had that luxury of like just getting fucked up on a Tuesday and
on a Tuesday,
dude. That I still listen to that song.
That song's a vibe.
Strictly for Drake's verse. That's probably one of Drake's like most masterful creations. Is that
dude,
verse?
That song
in that song,
yeah,
is like
which one is it? Are you thinking of?
Squad going up. Nobody flipping packs now.
Yeah.
And then what does he say at the end? He's like, I got upstairs, I got Zans in the Advil bottle. I don't take them shits, but you do.
Yeah.
So I got them for you. I don't need the pills. Like, it's just like, that's a master class in melody. Like, it is. Every time I listen to it, I'm just like, that fucking Mr. Krabs meme where it's like the screen's all shaky.
Yeah, that's the thing about like Albuquerque concerts too, is I feel like we're always the city they come to on a Monday.
Exactly.
You know, they're like, oh, Albuquerque put that on Monday night. Like,
exactly.
We'll save the weekends for Chicago.
Exactly. I've been saying that for years.
It's like,
it sucks.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
At least they come here.
Yes, sometimes. Yeah, I feel like it sucks especially a Sleda, like our biggest venue that brings in the biggest names.
Yeah.
It brings them in, you know, at least like 5+ years after their peak.
Yeah.
So like even the fact that we got Post Malone here, like as he's still climbing.
Peak Malone
is crazy. Because we always get like Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Who's like unfortunately like way past his prime. Like he's Wayne and fucking even all like
throw Chris Brown in there.
Yeah, even all like the rock bands and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes
we did get Limp Bizkit back though.
Yeah, exactly.
And Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Also like super old bands. Yeah.
For us dudes, we're like, yes.
Yes, exactly.
But most people don't even remember who Limp Bizkit is.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember my first show ever, it was Santana at Isleta.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, my parents are super heavy Santana fans.
Was it pretty sick? How old were you?
I was probably like 11.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's epic, dude.
Dude, so sick. And yeah, I'm a huge Santana fan too. Which
shreds.
I feel like that's kind of where my like randomness of like style mixing kind of comes in too. Is like all of Santana's music. He's worked with literally every person in every genre.
You're right.
On his albums and shit. Like even on one album, on the Supernatural album, which is like the big one from like 2000.
Yeah.
He had like Rob Thomas, Lauryn Hill, CeeLo Green, fucking Dave Matthews, just like all on one album. And all the songs are like, they're super random, but they're so fucking amazing.
That's kind of like what Travis Barker did. Remember when he made that album?
Yeah.
Like Travis was on the drums, but like you bring in other
like Willow
people.
And MGK and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that shit too. I love
I didn't know Santana brought in that many different types of people.
Yeah, on one album. And then like the next one he had like Sean Paul and other people. And so
that's random.
That's
cool. ATG.
Yeah, exactly. And so that I feel like growing up listening to that, like that's kind of where I like to kind of mix genres together, even though if it doesn't make sense right now, once you put it all together, it'll make sense.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, don't ever question your creativeness, because that's like literally that's the reason for growth in anything. Yeah. You know, you even listen to like some of Kanye's albums, like even like the Yeezus album, like at the time it was like, what is this trash?
Exactly. Yeah, you know? That's so true. And
then you hear it now and like he's playing it at his arenas and everyone's, you know, singing every word.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but at the time it was like the word, like everyone hated it.
Yeah.
But people always hate what they don't understand.
Yep.
You know, so it's like up to you to even educate like your listeners too. Like, look, there's different, you know, options out there. Yeah. You know, like expand your horizons.
For sure. Yeah. I feel like I've unfortunately kind of fallen into the like not getting as much new music into me as usual.
Yeah.
I feel like I've listened to like a lot of podcasts now, which is cool because I'm mostly listening to comedy podcasts. So
Yeah.
like, Bad Friends, Two Bears, One Cave, and like all the stand up comedians podcasts.
Yeah. Schultz
And
and all those dudes.
yeah, which is cool because I love stand up too. Like it's just like another avenue of like live performance, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really listen to that much music now.
I'm in the same a little bit. Thank God for Instagram Reels recommendation though.
Oh,
I don't know if like so you'll get recommended like once they figure out your algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll give them a listen and they're like some bangers.
Yeah.
But it's like one single they made. Like they don't
Yeah.
have like you just get that one song.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Which honestly is fine with me. I've never really been like a whole album guy.
Yeah.
Except for like, fucking classics.
Yeah.
Like from when we were growing up. But for the
Yeah.
most part, I mean, if you have songs that you like and don't like other ones on the album, just listen to those songs.
Yeah. That's true.
Obviously, when you get to a certain point when you're trying to make an album, you want it to sound cohesive and be one giant masterpiece. But
Mhm.
if you can get 3 or 4 bangers on an album, that's a very successful
Oh
album.
yeah. Big time.
Some people only get one.
Yep. One ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, true. Even
One
one
hit
song.
wonder.
Yeah.
Like what's Miley Cyrus's dad's name?
Billy Ray.
He's just still riding that song out.
The Old Town Road.
No,
No,
before that, what did he sing?
the mullet song.
My achy breaky heart.
Oh, that one.
Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it for him. Thank
I'm
God
think-
his daughter it skyrocketed.
Oh yeah. I saw her at I went to ACL in 21 and she was headlining on Friday night.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
She was or he was?
She was.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a fucking legitimate rock star.
Yeah.
Like I didn't obviously we knew her growing up like Hannah Montana and Disney Channel and all that shit.
Yeah.
But when you see it live and see what like the career that she's actually had up to this point, I didn't realize she was a legitimate worldwide rock star until I saw it, because at Austin City Limits, like there's so many stages and so much going on, and then it all kind of ends with 1 or 2 headliners.
Yeah.
And so on Friday I went and watched Erykah Badu on the side stage. And I kind of went by myself. None of my friends wanted to go. They wanted to kind of get good spots for Miley. And so I went, watched the show, and then I was just going to like kind of walk back and try and find them. It did not work out because her crowd was like almost like 3/4 of a mile long all the way around the stage. Like it was hard to it was such a big crowd. It was hard to walk around. Like even when I was trying to walk around, I was still walking through so many people.
Dang.
And I watched a little bit. I was like, this is fucking nuts. This is amazing, but I'm so far and I'm by myself.
You just got to do it solo.
Yeah. Well,
At festivals.
George Strait was headlining on the other stage on the other side of the festival. So I just went there. A couple of homies were there.
That's a dang, dude. The King
Yeah.
and Miley back to back.
It was crazy.
It is like the Texas Coachella kind of.
Yeah, dude.
like,
we're
in a way.
going back this year for the first. I'm going back for the first time since then.
That's sick.
But yeah, back in the 2021, I saw MGK
At ACL?
at ACL,
Cool.
which was like right when he had dropped his first like pop punk shit with Travis Barker,
Yeah.
which was huge for me and my friend group during COVID.
Heck yeah.
And so that was really cool to see it live right away. And then we saw Doja Cat, fucking Jack Harlow. We saw this band Future Islands, which I didn't know about until I
like
saw.
rock band?
No, they're like an indie band.
Yo, intern Steve, come on.
And one of my friends was like, we have to see them. I was like, whatever, I'll go. And saw them, and fucking mind-blowing performance.
Oh,
it was
dude.
so good.
That's the best part about festivals.
Yeah.
Like you just stumble. Like I went to Coachella, I don't know when it was, like 15 or 14 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you just walk from stage to stage?
Yep.
Some of them don't even really have a crowd, but you're just like, wait, hold up. Like you just catch a vibe.
Yeah.
Like that's where I discovered Rufus Du Sol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're like one of my favorite groups now. Like
Nice.
they're still relevant, still making albums.
Yeah.
But I would have never even known how to look them up if I didn't like accidentally walk across the stage and hear them.
Exactly.
You know, just like that indie band. You're just like, but those people are really good. Like at those festivals for like hand picking, like the openers, you know, like recognizing good talent. Like most of the openers will end up blowing up within the next 2 years.
Yeah.
There's a really good chance.
That is true. It is disheartening though when you kind of get there early and then you see a band like playing like early afternoon.
Yeah.
And they're just like super fucking lame. And you're just like, bro, put me up there.
Yeah,
I would have this tiny ass crowd going crazy right now.
Oh.
Like, it's just so sad because you're just like, how did they even get this? Like, how do they
Who
have this?
slept with who?
Yeah,
You're
like how do
who's-
they have this many followers?
Yeah.
Like, they're so lame.
Industry
live.
plant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, so many people are so bad live. Like we were talking about that too earlier with rappers. Rappers.
Yeah.
most-
Yeah. There's like only a handful I've seen live where I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
But the other ones, that was only like maybe 10%. Like the other ones, not that great.
Yeah. The only rappers I've seen that are good live, even like their video, is Cole, fucking Kendrick was good live.
Yeah.
I saw him here. And then Mac was amazing live.
Was he?
Yeah, so good. He has a full Coachella set up on YouTube.
Okay.
You got to watch that. It's so
I'll
fucking
check it
good.
out.
Even
I like that tiny desk room he did too.
yeah, the Tiny Desk is
I like
sick.
those vibes.
I would love to do that one day.
Dude.
That's a dream.
Slums? Tiny desk?
That'd be crazy.
You guys would kill it, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember the first I feel like kind of the first show I went to on my own was the J. Cole concert.
Yeah. At the
For-
pavilion?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when him and Drake came, or
No, it was
him and
it was him and
or maybe he's came a handful of times, maybe.
shit. I don't even know.
He sounded good live. I've seen him once too, but I think he opened for Drake or something like that.
Oh, when and Rihanna.
Maybe. But I've loved Cole's like
Yeah, Cole is.
OG.
Yeah, he's my number one for sure on any list.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Were you happy when he bowed out of that rap battle? Like
Yeah. Yeah,
he's bigger than this?
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
At first I was like, come on, dude, why are you scared of the dog fight?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, that's just who he is. Like,
Yeah.
he's trying to collaborate. Like,
Yeah, he's just a chill dude.
yeah, he's just a chill guy, bro.
Yeah, but he's so good live. I saw it was for the 2014 Forest Hills Drive
Yeah.
tour.
Oh, that was a good album.
Yeah, and I feel like that show kind of was a big kind of stepping stone in my, like, I guess I would rap career.
Yeah.
Which is funny to say.
Heck yeah.
I went to that show by mistake because I was working all day and I was texting my homies throughout the day because it was back when we had like summer vacation and shit.
Yeah.
So I was on summer break, but I was like just working my summer job and
Like, what's good?
yeah, I was like, what do we do? What's going on tonight? And like literally every homie I texted was like, I'm going to the J. Cole concert, going to the J. Cole concert. I was like, hey man, I don't even like J. Cole like that. And then I was like, well, I don't want to do nothing by myself.
Yeah.
So I
I
just
just ended up going.
yeah, I literally I drove from work to Isleta, like straight to Isleta, and then walked down the fucking hill, went to the box office and was like, can I get a ticket? And she's like, we only have the seats left. I was like, how much are those? She's like, $35 for a seat.
And you're like, ooh, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah,
Back then.
but for sure back
Like
then.
35?
Yeah. And then I ended up just like I had a seat,
Yeah.
but I ended up just going in the lawn with all
Yeah.
my homies. And
That's where all the homies are at, by the way.
yeah, for
The
sure.
lawn is where the vibe is at.
Yeah, definitely. But they yeah, and then I got there and he just fucking put on a banger of a show.
Yeah.
Played the whole album front to back, which I had listened to it, but I didn't realize I loved it that much until I saw it live. And he smashed it and then came out and did like 4 or 5 songs as an encore. Like did all the old hits like Workout and Can't Get Enough.
Yeah.
And Crooked
This is
Smile.
for all the fans that waited.
Yeah, exactly.
Your son, what did he say? Your son out in Barbados, cheese, eggs, and potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he did all, bitch, I'm about to blow up.
Yeah.
Like all
that music video is still the most iconic music video.
Yeah.
I think it's that one where he has like the live band behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Is that song? There's an old music video where he's like has a live band behind him, and
I
he's
don't
like
know.
walking like a Millie style, like where it's just like one shot.
Oh, shit. I actually don't think I've seen that one.
You should check it out. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think it was for the workout, or is that his name? One of his names of his albums, The Workout.
I forget what the first one's called, but it's the one with Workout on
Everyone's gonna hate me, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's. I just remember it was on YouTube, and it was like, dude, this is sick.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Music video is super underappreciated these days.
Dude, like even like I respect artists so much that like have longevity. Like everyone, it's so easy to like hate on them, like, oh, they've been around for forever, they're not relevant. But it's like, Yeah, they are, dude. Like J. Cole, like the fact that everyone still is looking forward to him making an album, still like interested
Mm-hmm.
for that amount of time, like 10 plus years.
Exactly.
That's like not easy to do, bro.
Yeah.
Because the culture changes, everything changes.
Also, every single feature that he's had in the last 5 years, he just absolutely bodies everybody on their own song and just like
Yeah.
embarrasses them.
Yeah,
And he like, there's nobody that can compete, bro.
that's
Like,
true.
and like on any song, like he did a lot, that 21 Savage song,
Yeah.
which I don't love 21
You
Savage, but
made a lot.
yeah, and I think that song is silly up until when J. Cole comes
Yeah,
on.
and then he just rips it.
yeah, and yeah, just absolutely mashes it. He did one with Benny the Butcher where he just fucking bodies him.
And it's cool too, like those artists, like how each one has their own label, and they each like have like TDE.
Yeah, and
Like we have SZA, we have Dreamville, and then Kanye had good music with John Legend and Cudi.
Yeah, and
Like so,
Common.
it's cool to see them like get their own little crew. And
Yeah.
then they, like subgenres.
Yeah, I love the dudes on Dreamville too.
Like, that's how I found Schoolboy Q. Like
Yep.
through TDE,
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Rashad.
Yeah, that's how I found like Boz and
Yeah, Boz is legit, dude.
he's so good. And then everything that him and Cole have made together has been so good. Like all this.
What's that one song where it's like starts with a guitar with Boz? It's like, "Mama, I made it." Da 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 da.
Oh
da,
yeah,
da,
it's
da,
called
da.
Tribe.
Yeah,
That's a smash. Him and J. Cole.
yeah, him and J. Cole. Yeah,
Yeah, that song is so good. But yeah, Boz is super good. Earth Gang and
JID.
JID, exactly.
JID is cool.
Which I heard JID came to UNM to play at Fiestas one year.
Is JID a girl or a guy?
A guy.
A guy.
Yeah. Have you
Is
never
his
seen?
No, I've never seen him. I've just only
Oh.
heard his music.
Yeah,
But his voice is like it could be a chick rapper or a guy to me.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he's a guy. He's pretty tiny, but he's fucking legit. But yeah, apparently he came here like to play at Fiestas one year, and I didn't even fucking know.
Dang.
Yeah, but this was obviously like I think it was like right before he might have signed a Dreamville or anything.
Dang.
Like
You
that.
gotta let me know if you find like something that, because now you kind of know my taste.
Yeah,
Because some stuff I don't see till the next day. And I'm like, dang, dude, I actually probably would have went to that.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I was just thinking though? Like, you know how we're just talking about like TDE, good music, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Drake doesn't have like a crew, huh?
Well, he had OVO for a little bit. Does he still have that?
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of artists under Drake that are like big or good.
Roy Woods was one for sure.
Roy Woods.
He was kind of more R&B. He has some bangers. from-
Okay.
I feel like that was late 2010s.
I don't know though if it's crew versus crew. I don't know if Drake's crew can.
No, for sure. He had a couple other people, maybe like Party Next Door.
I'm just talking crap about Drake. I actually like him.
yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna AJ DeLeon, bro. I know you're like diehard.
Dude, I see
Can't stop talking about Drake.
Yeah, true.
TDE. Just kidding.
TDE for life, bro.
No, I bum Drake all the time.
Yeah. No,
But during the beef, I was like, Kendrick.
I have no problems with Drake.
It's good for the culture.
Yeah.
Yo, if you'd like to get on the pod, we could talk about it.
Yeah. That was a fun time. But
It
yeah,
was a fun time.
Drake has infinite bangers. Like you can't deny it.
Yeah, he's got the bangers. He's got the Up on a Tuesday.
Yeah. I was it was funny. I was actually I was just telling this story to my girlfriend the other day, which was funny. In 2015, I graduated high school, and my best friend Justin was leaving to go to basic training for the Army.
Okay.
And so the night before he leaves to basic training, we're like, we got to do something to celebrate.
Yeah.
Let's take this guy to Fantasy World.
Nice.
So I don't know any Burqueños out there been to Fantasy
Oh,
World.
they know what's up.
Yeah.
I heard they have good steak.
No, that's at TD's.
Oh,
They don't have-
Every time someone talks about, they're like, bro, have you tried the steak? I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah. I had
But-
a buffalo chicken sandwich at TD's one time that was fire.
That's what's up.
But yeah, so we went to Fantasy World where
Okay.
all of us are 18, barely have enough money to get in, let alone like buy dances
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit.
Show
Like-
up with change.
Yeah, we're like, Mom, can I borrow $20? Spend like 15 on the entry fee.
Yeah.
And so we get there. Obviously, strip clubs are always fucking awkward.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially when you're a fucking kid and you have no money. and so we're there. Everybody's kind of chilling. They don't serve alcohol because it's like a full nude spot.
Yeah.
So we're all sober. And then there's this one dancer. I don't know what happened, but like somebody got a dance from her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like the whole crew just like fell in love with this one dancer. She was like this like girl from Cuba or something.
Like, I could take you out of this.
Exactly.
Like,
and so yeah,
I was need to be here.
100% every single T-Pain song, like just all hits you at once, and you're just like
all the emotions.
You like literally have $6 in your pocket, and you're like, I could take you away from all this. Meanwhile, she's clearing like 6 figures.
Oh yeah, easy.
And so we all fall in love with the same stripper, and I get a dance from her. It's not in the private room because I didn't have enough for that.
Yeah,
it was just like out in the big room.
Right.
And so they're playing really shitty music up until that point, and it's all like kind of like 80s hair metal, like kind of that kind of style.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck, this music sucks. And then as soon as I get this dance from this girl, Best I Ever Had by Drake comes on.
Oh.
And I'm just like, holy shit, this is my fucking jam.
It's just coming out of your chest.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and then I fell in love with this dancer. And I was like, let me take you away from all this.
Perfect toxic combination.
Dude, it was, everything came all together. It was insane. And then the next day we're dropping Justin off at the airport, and we're in like the little waiting area before you go through security. We're all just kind of hanging out and saying our goodbyes and whatnot. I swear to God, this same dancer from the night before is there in that waiting area.
What?
In broad daylight. It's like 10 in the morning.
She's just there.
She's just there, like with some dude.
Someone promised to take her out of that life.
Maybe that was what happening. She was getting on a flight.
She was ready, dude.
Damn, I never thought about
someone followed through with it.
Someone with actual funds.
Yeah, she's just like, all right, we're going to the next city.
But yeah, that's been my jam ever since that day.
Yep.
Like,
it's crazy how certain songs remind you of a certain moment in your life you'll never forget.
Exactly. Honestly, I wasn't even really like focused on her dancing. I was just like singing the words
like
of that
the song and
the
vibe. You're just
I was like, this is the
best I ever had.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's sick. That's a funny story.
Yeah.
But dude, we're about to wrap up. Thanks for coming on the show, bro.
For sure.
I'm glad we got to hang out, catch up. Do you want any plugs? Want to do any plugs or anything like that? I'll probably drop it in the bio, like your
for sure
Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, just listen to Slums of Harvard. Just dropped a song with the Mango Cakes. So
let's go
listen to the Mango Cakes. That song's called Fine. And follow me on Instagram, MySpace_for_life. And then follow Slums of Harvard on Instagram.
Let's go.
For sure. And follow Against the Grain.
Against the Grain, ATG, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
USA, USA, USA.